Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The diagnostic trouble code, DTC P0732, indicates there is an issue with the second clutch and its hydraulic circuit in a 2006 to 2011 Honda Civic. This problem manifests as an incorrect gear ratio when the vehicle is in second gear. The second clutch is crucial for engaging the transmission to properly shift into second gear, allowing for smooth vehicle operation. The hydraulic circuit controls the pressure applied to the clutch, influencing its engagement and functionality. A malfunction in either the clutch or the hydraulic circuit can lead to transmission issues, making it vital to diagnose and repair this problem effectively. The evaluation begins by capturing any freeze data, which allows the technician to see conditions present at the time of the error occurrence. In this guide, detailed troubleshooting steps are outlined for diagnosing the error associated with DTC P0732. The error represented by DTC P0732 is a result of problems in the second clutch or its hydraulic circuit, which can lead to an incorrect gear ratio while the vehicle is in second gear. The second clutch is located within the transmission assembly and is responsible for engaging second gear. The hydraulic circuit sends oil to the clutch, supplying it with the necessary pressure to operate correctly. A faulty hydraulic circuit can result from leaks, blockages, or failing hydraulic components. Furthermore, this issue might stem from excessively worn components, such as clutches or valves within the system. It's essential for technicians to thoroughly assess these components to identify the root cause of the DTC. Several factors could contribute to the occurrence of DTC P0732. One primary cause is a low level of automatic transmission fluid, ATF, which can lead to insufficient pressure in the hydraulic circuit. Another likely issue is shift valve C being stuck or malfunctioning, which directly affects the hydraulic flow needed for the clutch operation. Moreover, a failing ATF pump can result in inadequate line pressure, complicating the second clutch's functioning and leading to gear engagement issues. Stuck shift valves A and B can also interfere with fluid movement within the hydraulic system, further complicating the transmission's performance. Each of these possibilities must be investigated thoroughly to identify the exact issue leading to the DTC P0732. When DTC P0732 is present, several symptoms may manifest in the vehicle's operation. One common symptom is slipping of the transmission, where the engine revs without the vehicle accelerating appropriately. This can occur when the second clutch is not engaging properly due to hydraulic issues. Additionally, drivers may experience harsh shifting, which involves a sudden jolt during gear changes, indicating a disruption in the smooth operation of the transmission. Delayed engagement is another symptom, where there is a noticeable lag when the driver shifts into second gear. Further investigation is required when these symptoms are present to ensure proper repair of the transmission system and to resolve the DTC. The first troubleshooting step for DTC P0732 involves warming up the engine until it reaches normal operating temperature, which is indicated when the radiator fan engages. This step is crucial as it ensures that the transmission operates under typical conditions, allowing for accurate testing and diagnosis. A properly warmed engine facilitates better fluid circulation within the transmission, improving the accuracy of pressure tests and other diagnostics that may follow. It plays a significant role in identifying any potential issues linked to cold engine performance, as some problems may only become apparent once the engine and transmission fluid have reached their designated temperatures. In this second step of troubleshooting, technicians must ensure that the transmission is filled with the correct amount of automatic transmission fluid, ATF, and inspect for any fluid leaks. An incorrect ATF level can significantly impact the hydraulic pressure within the system, leading to various issues, including the symptoms associated with DTC P0732. Any visible leaks must also be attended to, as they may signal a problem in one of the hydraulic components, potentially decreasing the efficiency of the system. By verifying the fluid level and inspecting for leaks, technicians can eliminate this variable from the diagnostic process and focus on the internal components of the transmission. The third step requires draining the ATF through a strainer and inspecting it for any signs of metal debris or excessive clutch material. This inspection is vital because the presence of metal debris can indicate wear or damage to the transmission's internal components, such as gears or clutches. If excessive clutch material is found, it may signal that the clutches are deteriorating, which could explain shifting issues or the incorrect gear ratios associated with DTC P0732. If any debris is detected, the transmission likely requires replacement, as it indicates significant internal damage. If no debris is found, the technician can proceed to replace the ATF, indicating fewer immediately critical issues within the transmission system. At this point, the technician should check the stall speed with the shift lever in the second position. Checking stall speed involves determining the maximum engine RPM while the transmission is locked in gear. This measurement must fall within service limits, specified parameters in the service manual, to ensure that the transmission is functioning correctly. If the stall speed is found to be within these parameters, then the issue lies elsewhere in the system, prompting the technician to proceed with further diagnostics. However, if the stall speed exceeds the specified limits, it would likely indicate that shift valve C is stuck, suggesting a malfunction in the hydraulic circuit of that valve, which also might necessitate repair or a complete transmission replacement. Continuing with the diagnostics, the next critical step is measuring the line pressure within the transmission system. This pressure is composed of the hydraulic pressure that allows various components to function effectively, including the clutches. The measured line pressure needs to be compared against the specified service limits outlined in the repair manual. If the line pressure falls within this range, it indicates that the hydraulic pump is functioning properly. Conversely, if the pressure is outside of the designated limits, then the technician will need to address potential issues with the ATF pump or the regulator valve, as these components are essential for maintaining proper hydraulic pressure needed for transmission operation. Next, the technician must measure the second clutch pressure to determine if it meets the service limits defined in the repair guidelines. This pressure is essential for proper engagement of the second clutch. If it is low, the clutch may fail to engage correctly, resulting in slipping or a lack of acceleration. If this pressure is within the acceptable service range, it suggests that the clutch mechanism operates properly. However, if the pressure is found to be outside the normal limits, it indicates that shift valves A and B may be stuck, impairing their ability to allow adequate hydraulic flow. In this case, the technician would need to explore repairs to these valves or potentially consider a transmission replacement based on the overall assessment of condition. In this step, the technician should turn the ignition switch to the on position, which engages the electrical systems in the vehicle, but does not start the engine. This is a preparatory action for the following step that involves clearing the DTC using the Honda Diagnostics System, HDS. Placing the ignition in the on position allows the technician to communicate with the vehicle's onboard computer systems, making it possible to reset the diagnostic trouble code. It's essential to ensure that the vehicle is in a stable state at this point, so that accurate assessments and functionality can be restored after repairs. Now, employing the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, the technician must clear the DTC from the vehicle's memory. This action resets the diagnostic information and prepares the system for a new test cycle. Clearing existing codes is vital because it allows technicians to observe if the issue persists once the vehicle is tested again. If the same DTC reappears after the clearing procedure, it indicates that the root cause has not been addressed, necessitating additional diagnostics. The HDS also records any new data that emerges following the DTC clearance, providing a clear picture of the transmission's performance post-intervention. In this critical troubleshooting step, the technician must take the vehicle for a test drive while keeping the shift lever in the drive and engaging second gear. The vehicle should be driven at speeds exceeding 7 miles per hour, 12 kilometers per hour, with the engine speed maintained above 1,000 RPM for at least 12 seconds. This driving test is essential for evaluating the operational integrity of the transmission in conditions simulating regular use. If the DTC P0732 is still indicated, it suggests that the issue persists despite previous interventions. This test ensures that the components are adequately assessed under dynamic conditions, revealing information that static tests may not capture. After the test drive, the technician should check for any pending or confirmed DTCs using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. It is essential to monitor for the reappearance of DTC P0732 after the vehicle has been driven in second gear. If the code is present, it indicates that repairs are still necessary, perhaps relating to the second clutch or other involved transmission components. This step is crucial for validating whether the initial repairs were effective or if further action is required. If DTC P0732 does not reappear, this suggests that the issue may be resolved, allowing technicians to proceed with additional diagnostics based on any other DTCs encountered. In this penultimate step, the technician must monitor the OBD, onboard diagnostics, status for P0732 in the DTC's menu using the HDS. This monitoring reveals whether the system indicates passed, failed, or not completed. If the HDS indicates that the status is passed, the troubleshooting process is complete, and further actions can be taken for any other DTCs noticed during previous steps. However, if the status indicates failed, it may call for repairing the second clutch or replacing the transmission to address the significant issues identified. If the status is displayed as not completed, the technician must repeat the test drive to ensure that the DTC testing process has reached a conclusive end. The last step involves repeating the test drive under the same conditions as outlined earlier. In second gear with the shift lever in drive, D, at speeds exceeding 7 miles per hour, 12 kilometers per hour, and the engine speed above 1,000 RPM for at least 12 seconds. This reevaluation allows technicians to confirm the behavior of the transmission after any repairs or fluid changes made earlier in the troubleshooting process. Monitoring the performance yields essential insights into whether the system issues have been fully addressed. If DTC P0732 reappears after this drive, it would prompt further investigation into electrical connections and sensors related to the transmission, ensuring a systematic approach to problem resolution. The final verification step is fundamental in confirming that all repair efforts have addressed the issues associated with DTC P0732 effectively. This includes reassessing the vehicle's functionality to ensure proper shifting and operation, particularly in second gear. Once the repairs have been verified, any remaining diagnostic trouble codes, or DTCs, must be cleared from the system using the Honda Diagnostic System, or HDS. This clearance process validates the success of repairs and prepares the vehicle for normal operation. The final assessment should demonstrate that all symptoms associated with P0732 are resolved, certifying the vehicle's transmission is restored to full working condition. To prevent occurrences of DTC P0732 in the future, it is essential to adhere to a routine maintenance schedule that includes regular changes of automatic transmission fluid, ATF. Maintaining the fluid at proper levels protects against wear and allows for consistent hydraulic operation within the transmission. Furthermore, conducting regular inspections of transmission components can help identify early signs of wear or malfunction, allowing technicians to remediate issues before they escalate. Establishing a schedule for monitoring these fluids and components effectively mitigates the risk of future transmission problems and maintains the performance integrity of the vehicle. In conclusion, navigating the complexities associated with DTC P0732 requires a thorough understanding of the functions and components involved, particularly the second clutch and its hydraulic circuit. Following structured troubleshooting steps not only helps identify the root cause of the issue, but also ensures that all possibilities are explored before any drastic measures, such as replacing the transmission, are taken. By adhering to diagnostic protocols, technicians can systematically address the symptoms and causes of DTC P0732, leading to more effective and efficient repairs. Emphasizing preventive maintenance will further aid in reducing instances of this error emerging in the future, facilitating smooth operation of the Honda Civic's transmission system. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time!